I was really good about putting people way above me. Because I wasn't.
This is actually my chance to get stronger, right? Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
No matter what's going on, you can choose to think differently, believe differently, see differently. All of those things are a choice.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso, keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
Rise and shine, it's Entspresso time. So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee and sip on today's message from David Goggins. Also, if you want to learn how to have more confidence, check out my 254 Confidence series. It's free. The link to join is in the description below.
You will never learn from people if we always tap dance around the truth. Everything I didn't want to do is what got me to where I'm at today.
You get the opportunity to become a Navy SEAL, and then you end up going through BUD/S 3 times. It's like,
yeah, Merry Christmas.
insane.
I got lucky. I was very fortunate to go through 3 times, and not in a sadistic way, in a life-changing, growing way. I found out so much about myself through going through that training 3 times, and I went through the hardest part of the training 3 times. You know, after the first, so first phase is the crucible, man, and that's where I was at for 3 times. I spent most of my time in BUD/S in first phase.
In the hell week.
In the hell weeks. And being in that grind. And in that grind, I got time to examine myself. I call it the live autopsy. And also examine other people. Because I was really good about putting people way above me. Because I was never nobody. So for me to be on the same stage as these great wannabe Navy SEALs and BUD/S trainers, like, my God, you guys are amazing. I actually got here with you all. Thank you so much for allowing me into play. But as I was there for so long, I got a really good chance to sit back, because now the cold water is just water now. It's no longer cold anymore. Your mind starts to change. They say get in the water, most people think about it. For you, it became my life. So I started learning that if you start to change your mindset versus it being like, oh my God, this sucks, I became a professional BUD/S student. So I wasn't going to leave until I graduated. So I started realizing if this is my home, this is what I am, I had to always reset the bar. I had to reset my new norm. There always had to be a new norm. So one thing we don't do is we don't have a new norm. My new norm is you get up every morning at 4 o'clock and you suffer. This is your new norm. That became my new life. Most people want to get out of it. I said, no, this is your new life. This is who you are. Your new norm is you wake up and you suffer. And I started realizing if that's my mentality, this shit ain't hard anymore.
Right.
Your new normal is you wake up, you get in the cold water, you get a beer to the done. Whenever they say you're out, you get out. So my new norm, so I do that now today. My new norm now is if I'm doing a 200-mile run, your new norm now, man, is you doing 200 miles.
The Roger that mentality.
That's it, man.
Everything in your life will change when you realize that you do not want an easy life. Stop praying for easy. Stop praying for convenience. You don't want it because you don't want to photocopy your life every single day over and over and over and over again. You want variety. You want change. You want something different. But with that variety comes uncertainty, comes pain, comes challenges. And from that pain comes purpose. Ultimately, your purpose comes from your pain, and the more pain you go through, the more challenges you take on, the more you stretch yourself in your comfort zone, the more you're going to be able to reach down and help somebody come up to your level as well. You can only help people to the extent that you have been through something. So the next time you're going through some pain, tell yourself, this is the best, because it's your chance to show yourself and the world what you're made of and will define the impact that you will have. So I recently came back from my 90-day tour across the US. I broke my neck along the way in Denver. For those of you who are hardcore fans, saw me in some of the videos with my neck brace on, broken neck. Videos have to come out on the channel no matter what, it's happening. And I had to cancel my first event in Denver because I was in the hospital and I couldn't do it. The second event, the next one right after, was 4 days later in Kansas City. And I was still dealing with a concussion, still dealing with staples in my head and 2 neck fractures and a compressed spine. Crazy stuff, but I said, I still want to do it. I still want to go, but I wouldn't be able to go for the full 3 hours. And so I told everybody, I'm going to give you your money back for Kansas City. Full refund, but I already booked the hotel. We already booked our nights off. How about we just show up anyway? And I'll go for as long as I can. If I can do half an hour, great, an hour, great, 2 hours, great, but I probably can't go the full 3 hours. We can answer questions, take pictures, sign books, whatever you want to do for as long as I can go. I lasted about an hour and a half. That's half of what my usual workshops would be. And my wife, Nina, had to come and say, that's it. I'm sitting at the front of the room in a chair with pillows behind me and an ice pack over the back of my neck here. And Nina just cut the show off. And she said, Evan's done. That's it. I was at my physical limit. And I could already feel myself spacing out a little bit, not being able to hear the questions or answer them properly because I'm still dealing with the concussion. And some people think that that is a little crazy. And a lot of people probably would have just canceled the tour altogether. For me, being on the tour was part of my healing. For me, this was a chance to say, this is the best. It's either you focus on all the reasons why this sucks, or this is the best. I couldn't even pull my pants up properly. My wife had to help me every day just to get dressed in the morning, right? And I'm an independent person. You know, I like being able to put my own pants on in the morning. But I'm so pumped about the Kansas City event in particular because that was my physical limit. How often do you actually get the chance to push yourself to the limit? Think about the things that you complain about that seem overwhelming and impossible. Is that actually your limit? Because as soon as you bust through that, you just realize, oh, I got another gear I didn't even know existed. This was my physical limit. I have never had to be pulled off of a stage ever. I've done it sick, allergies, tired, everything, lots of things going on, but I've never had to be pulled off a stage. It was the first time in my life. And I was pumped. I was pumped that I pushed it until my physical limit, not to the point that it's super unhealthy or I'm gonna die or, you know, anything crazy like that. I know people are already like, well, what if? You know, yes, but most of the things that you're afraid of are nowhere close to what you're actually capable of. All of the worst case scenarios are manageable. Okay, I'm not gonna sit at the front of the stage and keel over and die. That's why my wife is watching me, right? And cutting the show off. And so I'm pumped. I took that situation, and as much as it's an inspiration to other people, a lot of people are watching the shows and watching me on Instagram and saying, man, Evan, you're getting up every day and doing this show with a broken neck, and I'm just tired today. And I realized, man, I got no excuse seeing what you're doing. I didn't do it so much to try to inspire you guys. It was for me. I wanted to see how far I could go. I wanted to see what I was made of. And if we're crossing over to some crazy territory, then sure, we'd pull the plug and cancel, right? I didn't do the first event in Denver. But I got so pumped that I had to be pulled off. Like, this is the best. I may never be pushed to my physical limits again in my life in terms of speaking, right? This was it. And so I was so grateful for that moment. And now I'm able to help other people who are suffering through physical pain. Up until that point, I'd never dealt with massive physical pain, but now I've dealt with it and I can help other people, right? I was given an up to 50% chance of having to have spinal surgery to fix this thing. Crazy. I've been through it now, so I can help others too. And so if you could take that pain that seems overwhelming and impossible right now to you and find a way to say, this is actually the best. This is actually my chance to get stronger. Right? Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. This is your chance to get stronger. You're actually already capable of dealing with this. You've just never been tested before. And this is your chance to bust through. And as you bust through, as you start to change your story about what you can and can't do, you'll then lift other people up. You'll lift them up. You go up a staircase, you're climbing that mountain, you're going up one extra staircase, right? You can lift people up to your step. You're gonna help people. And this massive pain that you're struggling with right now can ultimately become the purpose that you set out to for the rest of your life to have a major impact around the world. So I'm going to give you a 3-step process on how to turn your pain into a purpose and feel like this thing that you're suffering through is the best. Step number 1, what pain are you dealing with right now? What's the pain that seems overwhelming and impossible? You're never going to make it. You've bumped up against that barrier before and you're playing small. You're just not quite pushing through. What is that pain for you right now? Number 2, focus on the 8, not the million. I like to say that there's a million reasons why it's not going to work. Whatever pain you're going through, there's a million reasons why you should just stay where you are. A million. And if you talk to your friends, there's another million reasons why that they can add on top of you. That's why we stay where we are, because it practically, logically makes sense. There's a million reasons why your business won't work. There's a million reasons why you're not going to heal. There's a million different reasons why you will stay in this painful state. And there's 8. Gotta bring my hands up higher. There's 8 why you will get out of it. There's 8 why you grow through it. There's 8 why you will win. There's 8 why you will succeed. And the successful people, faced with those odds, right? A million reasons why it's not going to work and 8 why it will. Successful people focus on the 8. You tell me I'm not going to win because of all these reasons. Great, you're right. I'm not focusing on that. There's 8 reasons how I'm going to win. That's all I'm focusing on. And so I want to challenge you to now not just look at the million reasons why you're not going to get through your pain, but find 8 ways why you can. And step number 3 is think of the people you'll help once you're through it. This is not just an isolated thing. There are many people who are going through the exact same thing that you are going through. And when you get out on the other side, when you solve it, when you fix it for yourself, when you come out a victor, a champion, a winner, it's not about the ego. It'll feel great, but what's going to feel even more great is helping the other people who are currently going through what you just tackled. The people who feel helpless, hopeless, like they're never going to make it. And you're going to reach out and say, I felt the same way. I know exactly what you're going through, and I got through it. You can too. Here's how to do it. Humans are built to serve, and remembering that this pain you're going through will ultimately be a service to you and humanity can help give you the hope and faith to keep going. So number 1, what's the pain you're dealing with right now that's overwhelming? Number 2, what are the 8 reasons why you can win through it instead of a million reasons why you can't? And then 3, who are the people who you're going to help? Think about them, picture them once you get out on the other side. Now I've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy, but before that, question of the day, I want to know, what is one of the 8 reasons why you are going to win? Let me know in the comments below.
Literally, the first time I wrote this whole article, it was my first blog article, and it was all about how if I were hit by a drunk driver, I would take ownership of that. I would say that is my fault. And people were pissed. And I was so shocked. I literally thought, I want to pull people from the matrix. What's the one gift that I could give people that will change their life forever? And I wrote this whole thing, and I was like talking about like, oh man, you're in this spot and it ends up being a kill box and there's cars on either side of you and a car in front of you and your horn dies and you can't even start your car and move. You look in the rearview mirror and this drunk driver's plowing down, they smash into you and it's all your fault. And thank God, because now you remember that you're in control. But people thought I was victim shaming. People were outraged that I would say that that was anyone's fault but the drunk driver. But I don't want to do that because I choose not to ever be a victim. I cannot choose whether I'm victimized, but I have the ability to say I will never be a victim because there's always something you can do differently. There is always something you can do differently. And once you understand that you can always make a different choice and get a different reaction, and that's the power in your life, that's the power that you have, is no matter what's going on, you can choose to think differently, believe differently, see differently. All of those things are a choice. Read Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Lost his whole family to the Holocaust, was in, I think, 5 different concentration camps. And he said the thing that people die of in a concentration camp is the loss of a why. And Nietzsche said if you have a why, you can survive almost any how. Because you can always change how you think about something. And when you change how you think about it, it's what we've been talking about all day. When you change how you think about it, you actually change the event.
And if you want to know what David Goggins thinks about accountability, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
It doesn't go from like one morning I'm this way, next morning I wake up and presto, 5 steps to greatness. No.